Hi, welcome. I'm Linda Kattan, Magnetic Mind Coach, and you are joining me at Becoming Magnetic to Your Abundance. Welcome. I'd like to welcome our new members, and if you've been here for a while, welcome back. This is just a place where we come together and we discuss and we ponder what's been working, what's not been working, what's been happening out there in the field, and that manifesting going on, what's happening. So, yeah, here's where we correct it. And here's where I share some of the things, some of the insights from my group coaching and from my one on one coaching. I come into the group and put these things forward that they might help you in your process, in your manifestations. Because I know that it can be very frustrating when things are not coming about and we don't understand why. We think that we're doing something wrong and we're not. We're just in what's called the wrong structure. And this is where I come and I inform how to get into the right structure. So the wrong structure would be that broken structure, right? That stuck structure, or that feeling of, man, I take two steps forward and I take two steps back. That's called oscillating structure, like a yo yo. Probably one of the most prevalent places that we see that is in the diet world and that diet industry, right? Go back and forth, back and forth. Yeah, that one's a tough one. So the right structure, the new paradigm is to be in the flow, is to be in the flow. And today, one of the things that I am talking to you about, and that was supposed to be discussed yesterday, and I am so sorry. I announced my live and I got on to Zoom and I streamed it through Facebook, I thought, and then Facebook had other ideas and I had to abandon ship. And when I gave up with Zoom to go on to Facebook, I ended up in the wrong timeline. I went to my personal timeline and not to the group. So apparently somebody over my personal timeline needed to hear that more than more than it was needed to be heard yesterday. So here it goes again. It's not a copy. It is recorded here once again. I'm doing a do-over with that because it now is owned by Facebook. I cannot copy that and paste it over here. So here we go. So why is tension a good thing? What is she talking about? Linda, what is that? How can that be a good thing? I know that when we get uncomfortable, when things get tense, right? Tension happens. The tension looks to resolve itself always. And it's going to resolve itself in the easiest way possible. So when we have a goal, an end result, a beautiful end result that we have created, that we are wanting to bring into our physical, that we've already created it out there in the invisible. It gets created twice, right? First in the invisible and then in the physical. So we go ahead, we create this, we got it, we are it. We go ahead and we create the tension between where I am now and where I want to be. And I want to make sure that I'm moving toward my creation. How often does that happen, right? How often do we allow those voices to come up when things get tense, right? Those parts of us, those unconscious parts, the hidden parts, when they see us starting to take the steps toward the goal, and especially as we get really close to that goal, things really get squirrely inside, don't they? Not just in the inner world, in the outer world, because that's all projected outward. Those are parts that don't want you to have that thing, not because they're mean or cruel or selfish. They're none of those things. They actually are meant to keep you alive. It doesn't matter to the unconscious mind if you're happy, sad. It doesn't understand the concept. The unconscious mind only cares about keeping you alive in that body. Yeah. So it has a very high and useful intention. It just gets in the way when we go for that thing that we want so much. And we want that thing. And as we're going toward it, unconscious mind says, but you've never had that before. It's unfamiliar. That's unsafe. Anything unfamiliar is unsafe to the unconscious mind. And the real clincher is the unconscious mind will take you very often back to what it knows, which is very likely an unsafe situation, because unsafe is familiar back there. Unconscious mind knows what to expect there, and it knows that you survive it. That's how people stay in abusive relationships, physically abusive relationships, mentally abusive relationships. It's scarier for the unconscious mind to go out and venture beyond that, because out there is unknown. It's the unknown that is scary and unsafe for the unconscious mind. That's crazy, right? That is just crazy. But it's true. It's true. So how do I help my clients move forward when all of this is going on inside of them? They don't even know, right? I mean, there's a battle going on inside. I used a client, Sarah, as an example, and she was on yesterday. She actually figured out where I was, and I should have clued in, right? When she texted me, I was like, how do I find you? Where are you? I'm like, I'm on Facebook. She's like, she had to find me on a different timeline. So yeah, Sarah has already manifested this beautiful end result. And she's further down. She did a beautiful testimonial 1 or 2 weeks ago. She manifested this amazing job, a home for her and her kids to live in, the job of her dreams, where her animals can come and be with them too. Most of them anyway. She had a lot of animals. But before that, she'd had a relationship that broke up, and it meant that she had to move off the ranch that she was renting, out of the house that she and her children were living in, and leave the animals behind that they had. And literally in a very short amount of time, she manifested a whole new reality for herself, a state-of-the-art ranch to manage. And they can't wait for her to get there. She's so valued and so important to them. Yeah. It wasn't easy. I can tell you that the Wednesday before everything was really kind of solid for her, she got scared. There's a part of her that said, oh my gosh, this isn't working out. The house is not going to be ready in time. What am I going to do? Where am I going to go? Where am I going to take my kids, right? She had to leave that day. She's packing and on the road. We sat down and we did a recode. We got her out of the resistance of trying to control the situation that she had no control of. We don't control those outside forces. We control what's inside. She got control of what was inside. She let go of the resistance of all of that fear that came up, those emotions, the disappointment that came up for her at that moment. When it looked like it was just going to kind of fall apart. It wasn't falling apart. It was like, wait a minute, it's right there. You already manifested it. You don't know when they're going to leave, and you don't know, what situations are going to resolve for you. Let the universe take care of that. And she trusted. And by the end of the recode, she was put up in a 5-star hotel, there's a rented apartment at that 5-star hotel for her until the house is ready for her. And she's starting on Monday in this amazing dream job. That's how you stay in the tension, because the tension is really telling you something. The tension, those voices, they come up and say, what are you doing? You're not good enough. You don't deserve that. You're not worthy. You don't belong, right? All those mean things that those voices say to us inside of our head, inside of our heart. We would never say those things to a child, to someone else who was down and out. We would be picking them up, encouraging them, not beating them up, right? But that's what the unconscious mind does. The unconscious mind will pull out all the stops. And the closer you get to your goal, the nastier that voice gets. Have you ever noticed that? It gets louder and nastier. Yeah. And the car will break down, right? Somebody will throw a monkey wrench into your plan. The unconscious mind is very powerful. It's powerful. And it knows that it has to do everything in its power for you to stay alive. And that goal means that you have to become someone different. Unconscious mind is not willing to cease to exist in order for you to have that thing, which means that you have to become someone different. You have a new identity when you have that thing, when you become the person who has that thing. So as you're getting closer to that goal, that's what's going on. The battle ensues. The war is on. And those parts that are resistant to you having this amazing end result, your beautiful choice, your true choice, gets right in your face as you get closer to that goal. It just comes up and it just screams at you to go back, play small, play it safe. Don't put yourself out there. Don't be visible. Don't be heard. Be safe. Back over there where you were unhappy, unfulfilled, unappreciated, probably even very resentful. Definitely unhappy. So why I say that it's good when this comes up is that you know you're on the right track. You know you're on the right track. You're getting so close to that goal. You can almost taste that goal. You're almost there. And the voices, that's when they get the nastiest. That's when they come up. Great. That's when we have to recode, rewire those. Yeah. How did I do that with Sarah? It's quite simple. I use something called the rapid recode. It's what I use with all of my clients. I know I cannot reprogram that unconscious mind willingly. It's not going to go willingly. It's not going to change willingly. It doesn't want to change. So we go up to the superconscious. We connect at a superconscious level. I give superconscious. Superconscious is the master plan. That's where you came from. Your higher self, right? That it's in the field. It is the field. So we go in the field and we go ahead and we say, hey, this isn't comfortable. We're not liking this situation back over here. Please change that. Superconscious says, okay, why not? It changes the program, sends it on down to the unconscious mind. Unconscious mind accepts it. It accepts it. It's experienced like a really big release. Some people are crying, but they're not crying with pain. They're crying with joy of allowing that to just go, because it feels so good to let it go. A lot of times they don't even know what it was, but it was painful and it was in the way and it was stopping them. It kept them stuck or oscillating, and it just goes. It just goes. So that's how Sarah and all my clients get through it. We don't want to change you. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing broken. There's nothing to fix. We don't want to fix anything. There's nothing to fix. You just need to stay focused on your true choice, on your end result. And when things come up, emotions come up, past experiences, all the unconscious mind is going to dig up whatever it can, throw at you, and it will. And we just recode that. We recode what comes up. We recode the resistance that comes up from those parts, the parts of you that just want to keep you safe. So we keep the unconscious mind on an even keel. The worries, the concerns, the judgments, all these things that come up, we recode them from the top down, lower the resistance so that you can then just go ahead and stay on that river of desire, because we want to be in the flow, right? That river desire that's taking us toward our end result. And all of the unconscious mind puts all these, boulders and rocks and dams it all up for us so that we can't get through. So we stay safe over here. What kind of sense does that make? I mean, it makes a lot of sense from a survival point of view, but there's no lions, tigers, and bears here. I just want to go live a life I love. And the unconscious mind is going to sabotage me for wanting to have a life I love that I deserve. It's my birthright. It's your birthright too. Yeah. So we recode that. Unconscious mind allows us to go ahead and chip away, and in some cases just finally remove the boulders, and we can just be in the flow, and we have the object of our desire, our end result, our true goals. And that's how that works. And that is why I say tension is a good thing. You got to stay in the tension. You'll hear me say this in the group. Stay in the tension with your end result. I don't care how hard or how loud those voices, or how mean they're being to you. Stay focused on your end result. And sometimes as you change and you get that thing right, you've become this new empowered person. Sometimes the people around you don't like that. And sometimes they're putting up the roadblocks. Stay in the tension with what you want. It's about you. You choose you. It's your choice. So I'm going to leave you with that. Tension's a good thing. Stay with it. Stay magnetic. If you would like to hear more about my group coaching, or if you'd like to hear about one-on-one coaching, just private message me, direct message me, leave me a comment below. I'm right here. So stay in the flow. Catch you later.